take you through a tutorial on how to tie the Fishnuts Killer Hopper. That's what I'm calling my favorite design so far, and this thing is just crazy good at catching trout. So let's take you through the steps. FN Killer Hopper. First of all, I love Timco hooks, 5212 size 6. Size 8s work well. Unithread. To start with, we're going to start with a 6/0 weight. And then I like this 4mm tan foam. You can get it in salmon. Color 2 is really good. And I'm going to take my trusty pocket knife and cut off a strip. It's about 3/8 of an inch wide. Then I'm going to take an X-Acto blade and score it down the middle. Don't cut it all the way through because it's just to fit on the hook. Helps it sit on the hook better. If you fold it in half lengthwise like that and then just cut it, that's enough for 2 hoppers. Then we're going to take the back of one. We're going to cut it on an angle so it sort of faces up. It also puts a couple of those 2 little protruding, kind of realistic looking hopper body. I'm going to coat the hook with thread, and then we're going to coat it also with some head cement. I really like Prismacolor markers. This is a set that I have had literally since the 90s, and it still works great. And they're waterproof. So I take some photographs from the internet and sort of match hopper bodies and do my own little artistic version of the textures that you find underneath the hopper. Seat that channel on the hook and then tie in just about, I don't know, more than about a half an inch from the hook eye. And then we're going to slowly wrap backwards toward the very back of the hook bend. And we're going to get ready to tie in some hackle. Now, I really like this grizzly hackle and grizzly brown barred hackle. That combination has just been excellent for me. So I'll choose one feather from each, tie them in right at the very back of the bend of the hook. And then what we're going to do is we're going to run the thread forward, but it's got to be even. So you're creating crosses. You can see the X's that go through the middle. Those are going to be channels that we wrap the hackle through, and it holds them real tight. So we're going to wrap the hackle through those forward channels, and again, that's that doubled up hackle, grizzly and brown. Then we're going to take a needle, this is a bodkin, and then punch a hole because we're going to wrap that around through the hook eye and then tie it off. That's going to create the head of the hopper. It even makes kind of little eyes on the side. Kind of cool. This hopper floats really high, and it's a great one for doing droppers with. Next, I'll tie in some crystal flash. This is just some, I don't know, just some holographic crystal flash that I have. And then with your stacker, stack some deer hair, get a great big old tuft of deer hair, and tie it in right at where the thorax would be. And leave the ends because then you're going to spin them around. So you just take your thread right through that bunch of hair and then just spin that hair all the way around. And then we're going to trim that. And so you can see that spun deer hair is kind of a collar on the hopper. That really, it's not a very realistic part. It actually does look like the thorax, but it helps it float. Next, we're going to change to a different thread. Tie that off, the original, and then go to an 8/0. And then we're going to tie on the legs. So notice I've got some little beads of head cement on that thread. I just wrap that around a few times and then tie it off, and there we have the FN Killer Hopper, the Fishnuts Killer Hopper. This thing floats really high. It is super, super durable, and it's a great one to do droppers if you're dropping nymphs off of. Those legs are really simple. You just tie knots in them, and I'm sure you've probably done those before. But this is a really easy tie, and it's super, super effective, and I hope you guys catch some fish with it. Tight lines.